Right now it's the season of giving, which means you might either be looking to get something from here at Goodwill, or you might be looking to give something to Goodwill before the end of the year. Well, that's why we have our representatives today from Goodwill with us, Director of Marketing Christine Gillies and Director of Philanthropic Partnerships Bailey Smith. So we're talking about some donating do's and don'ts. Let's just go ahead and start with the do's, because there are a whole lot of them.
Yeah, so we are so appreciative whenever anybody wants to donate. And one of the best things that we ask for you to do is donate when we have donation hours happening. At most of our locations, that's going to be between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. But the best rule of thumb when you are donating is to just ask yourself if you would lend that item out to a friend or a family member. If you wouldn't lend that out, probably not the best thing to donate to us. So the things that you always want to donate are, clothing and housewares, but some things that people don't always think of are sporting equipment, electronics, hats, gloves, toys and accessories, and even things like puzzles and board games. Those are all really great things to donate to us that we can give another second chance to.
All right, and I want to make it really clear, because I see that flat screen TVs are there and you can take them, but they need to be working. And I think that's a big thing. The electronics, they all need to be working, or no?
Yeah, so we always, back to that rule of thumb, right? We would love for items to be working. We will accept items if they are not working, but that does end up putting some extra strains on us. But we are very mindful to make sure that we recycle those items. So you can donate those electronics to us, an old cell phone that may not be working, and we can go ahead and send that to our recycling partners to make sure that those hazardous materials do not end up in our local landfills, or any landfills in that matter.
Yeah, I really like that rule of thumb. If you wouldn't lend it to someone for them to use, then don't give it to Goodwill. All right, let's take a look at the don't list, because it's a much smaller list.
Right, yeah, we take lots. There are a few things that we won't take. Those old tube TVs, we're not able to take those. Hazardous materials are definitely not something we can take. Mattresses and box springs are also not something we'll accept. And then those baby items like strollers and car seats, unfortunately, we're not able to take those, but there are other organizations where you can donate those items to. And lastly, we won't take items that have been recalled from the Consumer Reports. And then items that are really severely damaged, soiled, really just not something you would lend out or be able to resell.
Gotcha. And everybody, of course, gets that slip so that they can then write it off on their taxes. What do we need to do when we get that slip?
So you'll want to hang on to that for when you are filing your taxes, and then you can refer back to it as your accountant or as you're told to do when you are making those filings.
Okay. All right, Bailey, now that we know where we can donate and what we can donate, right? When we donate things are put on the floor to be sold and that kind of stuff, and that allows Goodwill to actually make money. But what do they do with that money?
Yes, that money goes into our mission. So our mission is to improve lives and enrich communities through the power of work. So thanks to our shoppers and our donors, our mission comes to life through local employment, career development services that are open, free to the public. We've got career navigation, case management, workforce skills, vocational training, job retention assistance, and digital skills training. So last year we supported over 2,500 people through those community services.
Right. All right. So what we just had up, unfortunately, and we'll let you also talk about that, is the fact that it had what the dollar was split up for.
Yeah, 85 cents of every dollar spent or raised through Goodwill goes directly back into that mission.
Okay, and then let's put up the missions graphic as well, so that we can kind of really take a good look at that, because that is kind of like a snapshot of what's happening at Goodwill and how you guys help out. You've got there 2,508 total participants served.
Yes, last year we served over 2,500 people through our services, and you see that breakdown of were they attending workshops, were they attending classes, were they getting career navigation? That's kind of that step-by-step walking through, how do I get from where I am to where I want to be in my career?
Okay, and so if people want to take part in that, they need to take part in that, what do they do?
Yeah, they can come to our career center that is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 1235 South Eugene Street. They can also contact us via email at careerservices@triadgoodwill.org or call our Career Center at 336-544-5305.
Okay, great. All right, so let's get some last minute thrifting ideas. What you got for us?
Yeah, so I think that a Triad Goodwill gift card is always a great gift. It's a gift of thrift, is what we like to call it. And right now we're actually running a promotion until Saturday that if you buy a $25 Triad Goodwill gift card, you'll get a $5 gift card for free. And that's available in increments of 25, and we have more information about that on our website. But I think one of my favorite things to do is go shopping, find a really cute thrifted platter or plate. Definitely get those extra points if it has a holiday decor on it or a Christmas tree or something. Throw on some homemade or store-bought cookies, wrap it up and give it to a friend. It's a really simple and sustainable gift that's very quick.
I like it. I like those ideas. Thank you both for joining us. We appreciate that. And if you want to see any of these answers again, they'll be in the Two Wants to Know section of our website.